Hello, wonderful people of Ryerson. My name is Jenna. I'm a second year creative industry student, and today I'm going to talk about the question I get asked a lot as a Ryerson student. How do you find a place to live in downtown Toronto? But first, I'm going to start with a story that I think really sets the tone for the rest of this vlog. I'm originally from Ottawa. I'm not from Toronto. So when I told my parents that I wanted to go to Ryerson for university, their first reaction was not, "Oh my god, Jenna, how could you betray us?" Or, "Jenna, we're so proud of you for going to a university that's far away. Like, good for you." No, the very first thing my dad said was, "Where are you gonna live?" And you know what? He had a point. So today I'm going to tell you how I found an apartment in downtown Toronto after my first year, and I'm actually in the process of finding a new apartment right now, so you will be able to get an inside scoop on that. So the very first thing you need to do when finding an apartment in downtown Toronto is find a place. I know that sounds stupid, but you need to find a place to look at. So there are a few websites that I used in first year. I used Kijiji, I used Zumper, I used condos.ca, and strata.ca. There are a few other ones. You can also look at Facebook groups. There's always people looking to rent out rooms or units, but if you're looking online, just be very careful. Make sure you're not being scammed. Everywhere you're looking is legit and the people you are talking to are legit. If you would rather not use a website, you can always use a realtor. The great thing about using a realtor to find a place to live is that you don't need to pay them. They get paid by the landlord for helping to fill the unit. So there's nothing extra that comes out of your pocket for using a realtor. The first time I found an apartment in downtown Toronto, I used Zumper, and that's how we found places to go visit. And now for my second time, we're using a realtor, and it's nice. I would recommend it, but either way is good. Either option is a good start. The second thing you need to do after you find a place that you like is apply to live in the apartment. You're probably thinking, "Jenna, why do I need to apply to rent something?" Well, chances are you are not the only person that is interested in this unit. You might be, and that'd be great. But also the landlord needs to know that you are a good person to rent to. And then after that, you just wait. Sometimes you get the apartment and that's it, you just move in. Or sometimes you do not get the apartment and you have to keep looking. The Toronto real estate market moves fast. It moves faster than Usain Bolt, if you can believe that. You don't need to start looking for an apartment until about 2 to 3 months before, and that can even be a little early. Like, I'm filming this at the end of March, and I just started looking for an apartment to move into for May 1st. So just to give you an idea, I know it is super stressful. I hated that. I like having everything kind of figured out, and the Toronto real estate market was like, no. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you start looking for apartments. It's good to maybe get an idea of your roommate situation earlier than that, but yeah, you do not need to start looking super early, which I did not love. Now, let's talk about the fun stuff about downtown Toronto real estate. It's so expensive. The great thing about Ryerson is that there are a ton of apartment condo buildings within walking distance of campus. So that is really great. There are a ton of options for students who are willing to walk a little bit just to get to class. And then you can also move further out and just take public transportation in. The further you move out, the cheaper it is. So that's also a really great option. I know that finding a place is super, super stressful. I had sleepless nights in first year thinking about, oh my god, I'm gonna be homeless. As long as you are proactive, you will likely find a place. Yes, it will be super stressful and you will probably hate it. If you have some great roommates that also help out, it will not be that bad. I promise you. So as I mentioned earlier in this vlog, I am in the process of finding a new apartment myself. My roommate and I are using a realtor, and so far it's been a good process. So actually this afternoon we are going apartment hunting. So we're going to see 3 buildings, and we're going to see about 5 units. So we're seeing a couple units in those buildings, and I will show some videos. Melissa, what are we doing right now?
We're looking for apartments.
Woo! I just want to thank everyone for watching this video. I hope you found it just a little bit helpful, and just remember that living in downtown Toronto is pretty awesome, especially during your university years. Hello, it is Jenna again. I'm just here with a quick update. So my roommate and I actually really liked one of the apartments that we saw when we went apartment hunting. So we placed an offer on it the next day, and yesterday the landlord accepted our offer. Yay! So yesterday we signed the lease and we gave them a first and last month's rent deposit, and now we just need to set up utilities, internet, make sure we have tenant insurance, and then we will be moving in a couple weeks.